Lights, camera, chaos. This week on the podcast, we're diving into the whirlwind moment in Hollywood from the reported deaths of the iconic Robert Duvall and the legendary Eric Dane that have the whole entire industry buzzing.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a tough one to talk about. Also, twisting change of events with the high-stakes shakeup surrounding the Warner Brothers Discovery sale. When isn't there one, right? And what it could mean for the future of the studio system moving forward. We're also breaking down the ripple effects of the WGA West going on strike. Called it, what it means for your favorite shows and what it could mean for the future.
Plus, this week's top 5 is top 5 trailers for 2026. Which film do we think is going to live up to that hype and its contracts, controversy, and cinematic drama on screen and off? Now, let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Did y'all see that? What?
Let's just throw Scream 6 in there for like it was
good.
Movie. It was really good. The best of the franchise, in my opinion, since the first one.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of ITCAFpodcast. Of course, your favorite entertainment-based podcast that gives you the information every single week that is going down in Hollywood.
Yes.
Of course, you know your host with the most, myself, J. Logan Austin, and of course, Dustin M. Bergman,
What's
my
up?
father-in-law. Man, oh man, we're super excited to be back to normal. We love having the deep conversations about certain topics on the podcast, but it is great to get back to our regular scheduled programming with our certain format because no one else does it like ITCAF podcast. That's for sure. Before getting into the rest of the entertainment news, though, of course, be sure to leave a rating on this podcast, comment below, and tell us what you actually think about the show. Because if you didn't know, leaving a rating on the podcast actually helps more people find this podcast. Tell your grandma, tell your aunt, tell your estranged father-in-law. Tell everybody you can about this Hollywood podcast because it helps us see more numbers. It helps us get more things to make the show look better for y'all. We want to do our best for you.
Yes.
So that's why you have to leave a rating, comment, all the good things. We're also here to help the up-and-comers break into the entertainment industry because we have our guest interviews and things like that. So like I said, please sure to leave us that favor and leave us that comment. And then, of course, give us another favor by going over to our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. We got a little bit of something for a little bit of everyone. We also are filmmakers, so you can find out what we are currently working on our website. Like I said, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can find anything and everything about Crazy Ant Media on our website.
Yes.
And man, oh man, we got to start this episode with a little bit of a somber tone because we had some crazy deaths this past week. We had some crazy deaths recently that we're also going to be touching on, but we're going to be starting off with the most recent one, which was Eric Dane. Of course, it's very, very hard. Best known as Mark McSteamy Salone on Grey's Anatomy and as Cal Jacobs on Euphoria. Dane, who was diagnosed with ALS in 2025, is survived by his 2 daughters. He was born in San Francisco in 1972. He grew up in the Bay Area before moving to Los Angeles to pursue acting. In the 90s, he appeared in shows like Saved by the Bell and Roseanne before landing roles on Gilligan's Crossing and films like The Basket. His role as Dr. Sloan became iconic, spanning nearly a decade on Grey's Anatomy, and even returning 19 years later in season 17. Now, Dane's final work included films like Borderline and TV shows like Wireless and Countdown. His talent and presence will be remembered by fans everywhere. And Netflix also just dropped that Last Words interview with him. That's really hard to watch, guys. So be prepared if you do want to watch that.
The moment that he speaks to his daughters, I was in tears. That's a tough loss. Speaking of a tough loss, legendary Oscar-winning actor Robert Duvall. We lost him as well this week, who passed away earlier at the age of 95. Now, Duvall, an Oscar winner for Tender Mercies, is survived by his wife, Luciana Pedraza. Known for his gruff, naturalistic style, Duvall helped define a generation of actors. It's no doubt about it, and he earned respect of peers and critics alike. From his first big screen role as Boo Bradley in To Kill a Mockingbird, yeah, all the way back then, to iconic turns as Tom Hagen in The Godfather, films in the title role of the Great Santini, he brought depth to every character he played. He also shone on television in Lonesome Dove and Broken Trail, earning 5 Emmys and winning twice, 5 Emmy nominations and winning twice. Duvall's talent as both actor and director, including The Apostle, leaves behind a career that truly set a standard for American film and television. This one was definitely tough, man. This guy, he just... legendary. There's no other way to describe it. It didn't matter what role he brought, whether it was a leading role, a supporting role, just a guest appearance. He brought it every time, and I felt like just elevated the people around him in everything that he did. I mean, when you saw all the people, posting about his loss and working with him, it was just like they had I couldn't find a single thing bad about this guy that anybody could say. It was just such a tough loss for Hollywood, man.
Yeah, most definitely. And 2026 has been rough so far. I mean, we've already had brutal deaths in the entertainment and pop culture. We've lost legendary figures across film and television and music, including, of course, like we just said, Robert Duvall, Eric Dane, and we also lost Catherine O'Hara, Tom Noonan, James Van Der Beek, Dermot Wilson, T.K. Carter, Sidney Kubrick. In music, the world mourns Bob Wire, Brad Arnold, and Chuck Nurgon. And in the civil rights life activist field, we've lost Reverend Jesse Jackson. Each of these remarkable talents leaves a lasting legacy, and their impact will be felt for generations. They all definitely go down in history books. So yeah, it's been a rough 2026 so far, and we're only in month 2.
Yeah, a month and a half. We're not even 2 full months, and we've lost that many people. And I'm just, I'm so blown away by it. I was blessed enough to meet Brad Arnold and Robert Duvall and speak with them and have conversations with them. And the thought that they're both gone now, one so tragically young, the other a career that many won't ever see. It's mind-boggling to me. It really is. And slow down, 2026. Slow down, man. Yeah. All right. I predicted this one. This one I was hoping I would be wrong on, but I was most definitely not. I saw it coming. Logan saw it coming. We all probably saw it coming. The WGA West has decided to strike. The staff of the Writers Guild of America West went on strike this past Tuesday, accusing their leadership of the union of breaking labor laws. That's never good. They're not striking even against the studios. They're against their own leadership. The strike will affect about 100 to 150 staffers at the union. The workers, represented by the Pacific Northwest Staff Union, voted to authorize a strike last month after talks broke down. Now, the move comes 1 month before the WGA is due to sit down with the studios, the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, to begin bargaining a new contract for Hollywood TV and film writers. Now, the union leadership has said that it expects bargaining to go on as normal despite the strike. Members of the staff union began picketing outside the WGA West headquarters Tuesday, carrying signs like "It's giving AMPTP" and "WGA Live your labor values." Scabby the Rat, a large inflatable mascot that is a familiar sight on the picket lines, was parked at 3rd Street and Fairfax Avenue. Now, the WGA West has denied the allegations of bad faith bargaining, but did say in a statement that it respects the staff's right to strike. You guys know this is all about AI. Right? Especially the writers. They're concerned that they are not going to negotiate fairly with the studios. And so they're striking early against their own leadership to make sure that the leadership bargains fairly with the studios. And I mean, we talked about this one. This is the union. This is the workers that stand to lose the most from AI. They're talking about eliminating complete writers' rooms. They're talking about having one writer on a film that just, here's the idea, boom, AI writes it. It's massive problem for writers in the industry with AI infiltration. So we're going to keep a close eye on this one, but I won't be surprised. I'll put it right now. I said it in our predictions, but I'll say it again. I will not be surprised if we see the other unions foul suit. We've already seen Christopher Nolan for the DGA come out against it. He doesn't want it. He doesn't think it's good. So, yeah. Here we go again.
Here we go again. Yeah, it's kind of crazy because remember last time the WGA was the first one to strike.
Yep.
So we'll see what happened. Like I said, it's a developing situation and we will stay on top of it.
Yes.
Another developing situation that we're staying on top of, that the whole entertainment industry is staying on top of. You have huge notable people coming out like James Cameron, who is like, okay, if Warner Brothers sells to Netflix, this will be disastrous.
Yeah.
So let's jump into it because they did open up talks again with Paramount. Oh, my goodness, it's crazy. That's the sale of Warner Brothers Discovery. Here's the latest. Netflix has signed a $82.7 billion deal, but Skydance Paramount have been given a 7-day window to make one final push. The board still favors Netflix, but admits that this could go either way. And what Hollywood is really watching is the potential cost of Warner Brothers. It isn't just the studio. It's a cornerstone of filmmaking and iconic franchises, creative talent, theaters, and careers of hundreds of people. Employees inside the company are reported to be leaning towards Netflix, hoping to preserve jobs and the studio's creative heart. But regulators are paying close attention to all of this as well. That's right. The DOJ is reviewing whether the sale could reduce theatrical releases or hurt competition. In fact, Paramount recently cleared a key procedural hurdle when it comes to the Justice Department, with the initial antitrust waiting period expired without any challenge, something they're calling a regulatory win. Though the DOJ can still investigate further or move into blocking the deal before it closes. Like I said, James Cameron this past week warned that Netflix taking over Warner Brothers could be disastrous for cinema. If Warner Brothers loses its independence, the ripple effect across Hollywood could definitely be massive, with fewer films in theaters, less support from directors, and the shakeup that could redefine how movies are even made and or seen. Now, March 20th is when the shareholders' vote could decide the future of Hollywood as we know it. But yeah, it's absolutely crazy because, I mean, I'm just going to be honest about it because Ted Sarandos, co-CEO of Netflix, has been out everywhere
whining like a bitch.
Dude, he is like going crazy, like basically pointing the finger at Paramount. And like, I get it because Paramount is acting. David Ellison, CEO and owner and operator of Paramount Skydance as well, he has been acting like a child too. So it's very difficult. Like, these are two big CEOs of massive corporations, and this is how we're acting. It's kind of crazy.
I think though, in David's defense, Daddy's causing that. Daddy is pushing the thumb there. David just wants to make movies. David thinks he wants Warner Brothers because it's an opportunity to do what he loves, what he's always done with Skydance. Daddy wants it for control of the media, and Daddy wants it for a bigger reason, which is why the DOJ probably hasn't challenged it, which is probably why it's got smooth sailing through the DOJ, because they are favorable to Trump and Trump is favorable to them. Which is why Ted is out there whining like a bitch, saying it's unfair that they're the, you know, it seems to be streaming along on that side of it because of the favor of Ellison. And you know, like that or not, that just is what it is. This is the current state that we're in. And look though, you know, it's a lot of money that the Ellisons are offering. It is. And if you're a shareholder, it's going to be hard to turn that down. And Warner Brothers board knows it. Remember, they had slammed the door shut. Paramount kept coming and coming, and they're like, nope, this door is shut, locked, bolted, you ain't getting in. And then all of a sudden, this last money offer, they were like, well, okay, door's open. We'll give you a week. Let's hear what you got to say, because the shareholders were pressuring them. They're like, excuse me, that's a lot of money. Oh, hold on, let's wait. So, yeah, man, this is all I know from a creative standpoint, and I think you feel the same way, is, and we can see James Cameron and so many other creators lining up. They do not want Netflix. They are terrified Netflix is going to just destroy it because Ted Sarandos is out there lying about theatrical windows, working with talent, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're a creative, you probably want Paramount to win. If you're, you know, anybody else, maybe Netflix. I don't know, but
Yeah, both is a bad situation. And yeah, that's why this past week, Ted has been everywhere saying that we will let Warner Brothers still operate independently and have the 45-day theatrical release window and then go to PVOD and then go to streaming. Like he's trying to calm everybody down when it comes to the creative, but we do know how Netflix has always stepped back on their word and gone a different way than what they were saying
Right.
because of a evolutionized landscape. So it's going to be very interesting how it is going to move forward. It's so crazy, y'all. Like I can't even imagine what this is going to be like in the next couple months or years, because I do feel like we still got a long way to go, I feel like. So it is going to be interesting, and the industry is going to change. It's going to change drastically, but which way, we will see. Only time will tell.
Yeah, and remember, just to wrap this up, you just said it. We still have a long way to go, because even on March 20th, whichever way the shareholders decide to go, Paramount or, it still has to go through the regulatory process in Congress, which could take years. So it isn't a done deal as soon as the shareholders say yes to one of the companies. It's still got to get past the DOJ, which, like I just said, I think it's more favorable for one than the other, but we'll see. Let's jump to some good news. Let's get excited, because I'm excited about this one. We're jumping over to the Mouse House, and it's official. Toy Story 5 is on the way, and the first full trailer just dropped this week, reuniting Woody, Buzz, Jesse, and the rest of the gang for what might be their most relatable adventure yet. Why? Because the new film picks up after Toy Story 4, with Bonnie now growing up, and her attention is increasingly stolen by a sleek, smart tablet called LilyPad, voiced by the awesome, amazing Greta Lee. What a perfect choice to voice the pad. The turns playtime upside down, of course. Old favorites like Tom Hanks's Woody and Tim Allen's Buzz are back, and they've been joined by familiar pals like Forky, Slinky Dog, and Ham, plus some quirky newcomers as they try to remind everyone what imaginative play really is. Now, Pixar veteran Andrew Stanton directs, and Toy Story 5 is set to hit theaters June 19th, bringing nostalgia and heart and a pretty timely message about childhood in a tech-driven world. Yeah, this couldn't have been more timely. This is awesome. I like the transition. Everybody was kind of complaining about, man, we want a Toy Story. Why are we waiting? I think it was the perfect. They needed to wait. They needed it because we are in a tech world now, AI. So this is a perfect transition into this world of toys. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too, and I also love how I picked it for my box office draft.
You did.
But
you did.
I definitely feel like this film is going to be a massive hit. Like, it reminds me of the Toy Story that I grew up with, so I'm super excited about that. And like making fun of Woody's bald spot, that's so freaking funny. But I definitely feel like this is going to be another cult classic. Honestly, all of the Toy Stories were cult classics.
They really are.
I feel like Toy Story 4 kind of got the raw end of the deal because it came out in that pandemic area.
Yeah.
But still, all of them are like mainstays in childhood, like life experience cinema. So I do think that this is going to be fantastic and another knockout of the party. Well, there's also a new excitement from A Galaxy Far, Far Away. The first trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu is officially out, and it looks like one of the franchise's most beloved duos is back on the big screen for another adventure. Pedro Pascal returns as Din Djarin alongside Grogu, who we see using the Force and taking on bigger challenges than ever before. The trailer also teases Sigourney Weaver as Colonel Ward and New Republic fighter, and Jeremy Allen White as Rhoda the Hutt, son of Jabba. The film is directed, of course, by the one and only Jon Favreau, and it expands the Mandalorian universe and is scheduled to hit theaters on May 22nd of 2026. Now, this is a major moment for Star Wars fans because they've been craving more epic theatrical storytelling, that is for sure, because we haven't got a theatrical film from a Star Wars franchise since the last Return Rise of the Skywalker, which was freaking so long ago. So I'm super excited about it. I'm very hopeful for it, but like, is Star Wars still wanted in the movie theaters? We'll see.
Somebody thinks so, and they've made a course change in direction. Keeping with The Mandalorian and Grogu, turns out Star Wars spinoff has snagged a surprise voice cameo from none other than, are you ready for this? Martin Scorsese. Yes, the legendary filmmaker voices an Ardenian shopkeeper, a quirky little character spotted in the just-released trailer. If you looked, you saw him. Fans have been buzzing about the moment, especially given Scorsese's past critiques of blockbuster franchises and big films. Not a fan usually, but he's back and he's actually part of this one. I like it. Look, Martin Scorsese, a quirky little shopkeeper, it makes perfect sense. I mean, the man is a quirky little guy. It makes perfect sense. So I love this. And maybe it'll start that path of, can we get legitimate, or who are considered storyteller directors into these type movies? And I've always considered Favreau one of those story type directors. And maybe that's why Scorsese agreed to jump on board with this. But this is fun. I think that's going to be epic.
Yeah, for sure. I think this one, though, I mean, it has his buddy George Lucas, who created this whole universe. Scrubs is officially back on ABC this February. We're starting to see teaser trailers out there everywhere with some familiar faces returning to the hospital. Original cast members like Neil Finn as the energetic janitor, Christina Miller as Jordan are reprising their roles in the revival and reuniting with Scrubs favorites like Zach Braff, Donald Faison, and Sarah Clark. The OC's Rachel Bilson will also guest star as a mysterious visitor alongside Andy Riggins and Lisa Gilroy in some fun new roles. The series premieres with back-to-back episodes February 25th, bringing heartbreak, and plenty of laughs back to Sacred Heart with both old and new patients. So that's very exciting.
Very exciting. You know what else is very exciting? Fresh casting news from Percy Jackson and the Olympians as season 3 continues to take shape. Disney Plus has just added some big names to the lineup, including one of their Disney princesses. Ming-Na Wen is apparently joining as the Queen of the Gods, Hera, bringing regal authority and personal grudge into the mix. Jennifer Beals, Flashdance, will play Demeter, the goddess of the harvest, whose experience in the ancient wars still shapes her choices. And Hubert Smilicki steps in as Apollo, the charismatic sun god, of course. These new additions deepen the mythology as the series moves into the next chapter, with more twists and Olympian politics expected when it returns later this year. I'm always down for anything Ming-Na Wen is in. I love her. And Jennifer Beals, huge fan of that too. So, fun.
There you go. And you get the best of both worlds because Disney Plus is diving into the nostalgia of a Hannah Montana 20th year anniversary streaming event for March 24th. Miley Cyrus is officially returning to revisit the show that launched her career, and the event will be filmed in front of a live studio audience. The special promises and an in-depth interview hosted by Alex Cooper, never before seen footage and recreated sets from the original series, like the Stewart family living room and Hannah's iconic closet. It's all about celebrating the legacy of the series that defined a generation of fans and helped shape pop culture in the mid-2000s. Definitely for my generation, so that's exciting.
All right, and in the awards news, the Academy has announced the first batch of presenters for the upcoming 98th Oscars. 4 of last year's acting winners, Adrian Brody, Kieran Culkin, Mikey Madison, and Zoe Saldana, will all return to the Oscar stage March 15th to hand out trophies at Hollywood's biggest night. It's a bit of a tradition bringing back recent winners to help usher in the next set of honorees, of course, and this year's ceremony is already shaping up to be a star-studded event, with the show airing both live on ABC and Hulu, streaming on Hulu. That's right, guys and gals.
That's exciting. Well, Fox just unveiled its spring 2026 lineup, and there's a little something for everyone coming up. The quiz battle series, The Floor, kicks off its 5th season with a 2-hour premiere on April 8th, followed by the return of fan favorites like the 1% Club and The Quiz with Balls later that week. Then on April 15th, MasterChef returns for season 16 with the iconic Gordon Ramsay, and judges pushes chefs to their limits. Now the network's schedule blends competition, adventure, and even more biblical event series like The Faithful Women of the Bible, leading into Easter, giving viewers plenty to tune into. as days warm up in the weather time. So that's exciting.
Yeah. What's not exciting, at least in my opinion, but apparently in some people's, a Baywatch reboot is gaining real momentum as production prepares to begin this spring in Los Angeles. Now, this once again revival, this is like revival 476, will bring back David Chakotay as Cody Madison, a lifeguard turned mentor who still suits up and occasionally, alongside new lead Stephen Amell as Hobie Buchanan. Yep, he's playing Mitch's son, now carrying on his famous dad's legacy. Open casting calls drew thousands of hopefuls donning the show's iconic red swimwear, proving the nostalgia and energy around the series is still strong decades after the original first aired. Now, the new version aims to honor the classic's beach action vibes while updating it for a fresh audience. They tried this, didn't work. Then they tried it as a movie with Zac Efron on The Rock, didn't work. Stephen Amell, what are you doing, buddy? This is bad. First of all, I don't even see Stephen Amell and being David Hasselhoff's son. What? And if the Hoff comes back to this is a bad idea. It's a bad idea.
It is. Yeah, they're definitely trying to capitalize on, I feel like, was once in a generation type of IP, because I just went back and watched the first episode of Baywatch, the original series. It's not good, y'all. It's not good.
It got canceled. It was on NBC and got canceled after the first season. Yeah, well, and the second lead, it was a 2 male lead. David Hasselhoff and Parker Stevenson, I think his name was. He quit. He's like, fuck, this shit's awful, and it was canceled. ABC picked it up, and then it became a huge. But NBC knew. That's all I'm saying. NBC
It's not
knew.
good, y'all. Can we just stop? Well, we're bouncing over to The Bunny, which is Warner Brothers Discovery, where HBO's got some serious momentum right now with 2 of the biggest dramas drawing huge audiences. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and then, of course, the Game of Thrones prequel is averaging about 13 million viewers per episode across linear and streaming platforms, putting it on track to be one of the biggest debuts in HBO Max history. Meanwhile, season 2 of The Pit is holding strong, averaging about 12 million viewers per episode, which is roughly 50% jumped over from the first season. Both shows are seeing a week-to-week growth in viewership, giving HBO a powerful 1-2 punch in the scripted television genre as we head into awards and spring season.
Yes.
And I should say that The Pit is freaking great. Baby Jane Doe. And then also freaking A Night of the Seven Kingdom. I'm really surprised by that one because it was a slow start. There's not really a lot of dragons, and it's completely kind of different from the other Game of Thrones shows, but it's very successful because I feel like it's more grounded and people love it. The recent episode has a 9.9 on IMDb, so it's rocking and rolling, man. I love to see this because they make some great television, I say.
I like that they took the chance and it's working, though. You know what else they took a chance on way back in the day? Their anthology, The White Lotus, and as you guys know, that turned into a massive hit. Well, it continues to expand its roster for its upcoming 4th season. The latest additions include Ari Grainer and Dylan Ennis, who are joining an ensemble that already features names like Helena Bonham Carter, Steve Coogan, and Sandra Bernhard. Filming this season is set against a backdrop in France, giving the series a new luxury locale and plenty of fresh dramatic potential as it follows a group of hotel guests and staff over the course of a week. Now, with its sharp blend of dark humor and social satire, fans of the franchise have plenty to look forward to as this new chapter takes shape.
Yes, that's very exciting, man. Very exciting. They had to work around Mike White's Survivor schedule for this one. That's hilarious. Now, continuing going back over to Westeros, House of the Dragon, another Game of Thrones prequel, dropped its first official trailer, and it's all about escalating war, dragon and fire. The teaser teases more epic battles and political maneuvering as Rhaenyra Targaryen pushes towards the Iron Throne and the new dragons and shifting alliance ready to change the game. HBO has set a June premiere for season 3, which will continue the brutal Targaryen civil war fans know from George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood. This season promises more dramatic, action-packed, and possibly crazy chapters before the show's planned finale.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it. I think they're doing a really good job. It's hard to tell a story when you already know the outcome, but they do it really well, and so good for them. I'm excited. Jumping over to Paramount, Yeah, Paramount. You know that company we just talked about. Kristen Bell is officially speeding into the Sonic the Hedgehog universe. She's been cast as the voice of Amy Rose in Sonic the Hedgehog 4, set to hit theaters on March 19th of 2027. Now, Bell, beloved for her roles on Veronica Mars and as Anna in Frozen, steps into the voice of the pink hedgehog teased in the post-credits of the last film. Sonic voice actor Ben Schwartz announced the news with a celebratory post, and fans are already buzzing about how her energy could bring a fresh spark to the franchise as it continues to expand. She does do that. She's a great voice actor, so that's solid casting.
Most definitely. And Paramount has officially set a new release date for the next chapter of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise. Mutant Mayhem 2 is now hitting theaters August 2nd of 2027, bringing back everyone's favorite sewer-dwelling heroes, Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo, plus a new wave of mutant action. The film's announcement comes with an early concept art teasing even bigger set pieces and more turtle signature humor and heart. Now, that with the first Mutant Mayhem movie earning both theatrical and critical praise and a passionate fan response, expectations are very high that the sequel will level up the franchise's blend of comedy, skate culture, and comic book energy. More cast and plot details are expected soon, but for now, the fans can just mark their calendars for that summer of shell-shocked fun.
Yes, it's going to be a good one. And we've got more details on Marshals, the Yellowstone spinoff. No, it's not whether or not Casey's beloved wife is alive or dead, but we do have on news anyway. Country star Riley Green apparently is making his acting debut in the series. Green will guest star as Garrett, a former Navy SEAL who turns up on Casey Dutton's doorstep, reconnecting with old friends and trying to put the demons of his past behind him. It's also a late-breaking twist from the trailer buzz, and fans will be able to see him on March 1st when the series premieres on CBS and Paramount+. It's a crossover moment for television and country music, and Green says he's thrilled to be stepping into the acting alongside folks he already knows from the Yellowstone world. Yes, of course, they've already done the music crossover on Yellowstone. I mean, so, this is a no-brainer.
It only makes sense. It's a springboard for country artists who want to break into the acting game. That's for sure.
Absolutely is.
Survivor isn't just on TV this year. It's coming to your phone. To celebrate the milestone 50th season, CBS has teamed up with Zynga to bring the show's signature strategy to competition in 5 different popular mobile games like Words with Friends, Zynga's Poker, Two Dots, Farmville 3, and Dragon City. Starting with the February 25th premiere on CBS and Paramount Plus, players can tackle special in-game challenges, word puzzles, and fan-focused events that mirror the show's twisted gameplay. It's a brand new way that fans can outwit, outplay, and outlast everything while waiting for each episode to drop. Yeah, CBS is really pushing this thing hard.
Oh, yeah. Without doubt. Without doubt. All right. As you guys know, if you're fans of Elsbeth, it's every week she brings in a different guest star as a quirky character. Well, that continues, and she's stacking up guest stars for its 3rd season. Constance Wu is set to appear as a wealthy therapist, helping the privileged navigate their problems, and some may be more twisted than they seem. Anna Camp will play a documentary film trad wife whose on-camera mishap threatens her carefully cultivated persona. They join a roster of Broadway alums and big names who have popped up this season, adding fresh energy and quirky cases for the show's unconventional attorney as she helps the NYPD catch some of New York's most eclectic murderers. I love the show. I've always loved Elsbeth, one of the best created characters ever. Check it out if you haven't.
Nice. Now we're heading over to NBC Universal, where after leaving 911 in a dramatic exit, Peter Krause is heading back into the television with the leading role in an NBC drama pilot called Protection.
Ooh.
The show centers on a Thornhill family U.S. Marshal who becomes the target of a mysterious assassin after a colleague's suspicious death hints at a deeper conspiracy. Now, Krause will play one of the central figures caught up in a suspenseful story, marking his first major project since his emotional departure from the firefighter drama Fans of his work on Parenthood and 911 are already buzzing about seeing him in a new high-stakes role. I don't know about that one, man. I don't know if he can play this kind of role. I didn't watch any of the 911 stuff, and maybe that was a little bit more edgier, but he's still just the loving dad from Parenthood. I don't know about edgy for him.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he was great on Sports Night, which was a dramedy, had a little edge there. We'll see. Damon Wayans Jr., this is because he's more comedic than any, so this is also, I feel like, the same type of situation. He's stepping back into drama with a lead role in NBC's upcoming pilot, Puzzled. Wayans will play Mike Brink, a former college athlete whose life changes after a near-fatal fire gives him a rare cognitive gifts, turning him into an unexpected asset for solving crimes with local law enforcement. Now, the show is based on a series of popular books and is currently filming in Atlanta. If NBC picks this bad boy up, could be in your fall lineup next season. So there you go.
Very cool, very cool. And with another NBC pilot announcement, Emily Deschanel, best known for her long-run show Bones, is set to star in a new untitled drama series from writers Dean Georgis and John Fox. According to sources, she'll play trailblazing psychologists who consult with the FBI on baffling cases, shifting the focus on perpetrators to victims in order to track them down and crack the cases. The cast includes Ang Lee Bogan as a key team member, and it's returned to the drama for Deschanel. And if the pilot gets picked up, it could be a big part of the NBC's drama slate. So we shall see, man. Only time will tell.
Yeah, it's good to see both Bones people back, though. As we know, David Boreanaz is going to be doing the Rockford Files, so we'll see. Jumping on over to Sony, Bad Bunny is taking a big step into acting with his very first lead role in the historical drama Puerto Rico. The 31-year-old global music star, fresh off his record-breaking Super Bowl halftime performance and Grammy wins, will headline the film, directed by musical visionary Residente, telling the real-life story of Puerto Rico's revolutionary hero, Jose Maldonado Roman. This marks a major career expansion for Bad Bunny, who's had supporting roles before, but now carries a film rooted in heritage and history with an all-star cast around him. Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
For sure. And Sony continued trying to squeeze everything they can out of these Spider-Man characters because they are officially developing an animated Venom movie, bringing the anti-hero into a brand new format. Now, Final Destination Bloodlines director Zach Lewowski and Adam B. Stein are set to helm the project for Sony Pictures Animation, and Tom Hardy is attached in some sort of capacity, though it's unclear if he'll return as the voice of Eddie Brock. It is still in early development, but it could be a major new chapter for the Venom franchise. So that's kind of cool, but also like, come on, Sony, come on.
Yeah, well, it's clear they keep failing at the live-action Spider-Man movies that Marvel isn't involved in, but Spider-Verse was fantastic, so I feel like, well, maybe we do animated and it'll work.
We'll see.
We'll see. Jumping on over to Lionsgate, a new trailer is dropped for The Gates, which is one of the final movies featuring James Van Der Beek before his death earlier this month at the age of 48. In a striking departure from some of his early roles, Van Der Beek plays a chilling pastor who becomes an ominous figure in this thriller about three friends trapped in a gated community after witnessing a murder. The movie, set to hit theaters on March 13th, shows him in a dark, commanding performance that fans are seeing as a fittingly powerful last chapter in his screen career. That's going to be interesting and kind of creepy.
It is. It's always weird when like movies come out after stars have passed, like with Ray Liotta. It's rough. It's rough. Well, Star's biggest freaking project ever when it comes to the Power franchise, Power Book 3 Raising Kanan, is officially shifting gears and gearing up for its fifth and final season. There is a major casting addition that got all the fans talking, with Emmy-winning actor Joe Palladino, known for his roles in The Sopranos, The Matrix, and The Last of Us. He is joining the cast as a recurring role as Pino Bernardi, the head of the Manhattan Mafia. That makes sense. A powerful new player in Kanan's world that the story heads towards a dramatic conclusion. Now, production on season 5 wrapped last year, with this being the end of the series, obviously. Viewers are expecting some intense twists and high stakes conflicts when the latest chapter drops later this year on Stars.
That'll be exciting. In other exciting casting news, John Malkovich is set to star opposite Joel Kinnaman in Bishop. That's a new Amazon Prime Video crime drama. Malkovich will play the influential father of Kinnaman's character, a detective chasing a serial killer targeting San Francisco's elite, uncovering deeper ties to his own family along the way. Is daddy a killer? The series is shaping up as a gritty, character-driven thriller, in Prime Video's lineup with both actors bringing serious dramatic chops to the complex cat and mouse story. Yeah, I'm always down for Malkovich. That is an odd, quirky actor in his own lane, but he is always so damn good in everything, man.
There you go. There you go. Well, Amazon Prime is definitely leaning into more of the faith-based stuff because they have a new biblical drama coming out called House of David. It's coming out, or for season 2, will premiere globally on March 27th with all 8 episodes dropping at once. The series, which pulls viewers into an epic story of King David's rise to the shepherd to the leader during the time of the political turmoil. And it was the breakout hit of the first season with over 40 million viewers worldwide. Now, season 2 continues the story of Israel's future hanging in the balance, with David's journey taking him deeper into loyalty, family conflict, and brutality of ancient warfare. Now, Michael Eisker returns as David alongside a strong ensemble cast led by Ali Sullivan, Alik Zurer, and Stephen Lang, bringing more sweeping visuals and high-stake drama to Prime Video this March. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, and if you guys hadn't heard, there's a spinoff coming from that show, and our great friend Chaya Nene has a role in it. So we're going to keep it there and maybe have her on to tell you more about that when that happens. Exciting stuff. All right, let's jump on over to Netflix and one of their biggest hits ever. We've got a first look at the Peaky Blinders movie, The Immortal Man, and it amps up the stakes in a big way. Cillian Murphy, of course, is back as Tommy Shelby, but this time he's facing off against his own son, oh my gosh, played by Barry Keogh, of course, who's taken over the Peaky Blinders in the World War II era Birmingham. The trailer shows Tommy pulled out of a self-imposed exile to confront a violent gang reborn under his son's leadership, with old alliances and wartime betrayals adding fuel to the fire. Rebecca Ferguson and Tim Roth also show up in key roles as the film hurtles towards its March release. First in theaters, and then, of course, on Netflix. If you guys have never checked out Peaky Blinders with Tom Hardy and Killian and the gang, this is one of the best shows I've ever seen on television. I can't wait for the movie. Check it out if you haven't seen it. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah, I like how they're releasing it in theaters because it definitely deserves it.
Oh, without doubt.
That audience for it as well. Well, Netflix is taking a crack at the Scooby-Doo franchise with Mystery Inc. is in a live-action reboot on Netflix. The first big casting names have dropped. McKenna Grace, best known for her roles in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, The Hunger Games: Sunrise of the Reaping, is going to be playing Daphne in the upcoming series, a role she previously voiced in the animated film Scoob. The show, described as a modern reimagining that explores how the iconic gang first came together, and it will run for 8 episodes and produced by Warner Brothers Television alongside Berlanti Productions. Fans are already buzzing about seeing these classic characters come to life in such a fresh way. But it'll be interesting to see their interpretation of the iconic franchise.
I loved the first James Gunn movie. I didn't think they really needed the sequel to that one. The first one was so well done, but that was a great live action telling of Scoob. I think they should have just left it there. That's just my opinion.
Completely agree. Well, now it is time for our top 5 segment, y'all. And this week, it is top 5 2026 movie trailers. Super excited about that. This is definitely, at least the way I did my list, was my favorite. What I'm looking forward to seeing most just from these trailers. But I mean, trailers have been, I feel like, a little lackluster when it comes to at least reporting numbers recently.
Yeah.
Because normally they do like big articles. Oh, this trailer like
had
got
this
so
many views
on YouTube. Like, and it hasn't really been a thing this year so far, anyway. But number 5 for me specifically, because there's been a lot coming out recently, and even though these are just teaser trailers, Avengers Doomsday teaser trailer with X-Men and the Fantastic Four, because I feel like this one specifically brings the classic old school early 2000s Marvel meeting current day future Marvel. And the two dynamic between James Marsden and the Thing, freaking dude from The Bear, and obviously, but I'm super excited about this because it's going to be make or break. I feel like these two films are going to be make or break to see what superhero films mean moving forward for, the franchises. I
Yeah.
definitely feel like, we're moving past that thing where superhero movies are the most anticipated thing. I think they're always going to be around, but I do think we're moving into a new phase of theatrical experiences to where superhero movies aren't going to be the biggest thing anymore, or at least the most talked about thing, I should say. So I'm very curious to see how it's going to happen. But this one specifically was my favorite. I did not like the Chris Evans freaking Captain America one because I was just like, okay, whatever. He's holding a baby. That's cool.
Yeah, but it's who is that baby, right? See, that plays into my number 5, which is, I'm right there with you, the Avengers Doomsday. But I picked all the teasers because as a comic book geek, there are so many little hidden Easter eggs that some people aren't picking up on that us comic geeks are picking up on.
And I feel like it's gotten to be too much. That's why I think the way I think.
I mean, no, and totally, that makes sense. But there are so many possibilities as to who that baby could be, and that's exciting. But yeah, and I mean, I loved seeing finally Cyclops in his accurate comic book costume, which was just freaking amazing, brilliant. That was incredible. I too liked the interaction between the new world and the old world with Thing, and so look, yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. These are going to be two make or break films, but I have trust in the Russo brothers. I have strong belief in Feige and the Russos doing the right thing. I think they agree with you. It's gotten out of hand. And what the Russo brothers and Feige are planning on doing, in my opinion, is consolidating it and bringing it back into a controlled atmosphere where it started and why it was so successful. And they're going to use these two films to do that. And because they've said plain and clear by the end of the second one, this will be the universe moving forward, and not everybody is going to be in it. So I like it. But yeah, I'm right there with you. My number 5, the Avengers Doomsday teasers. We shall see. Rumor was a full trailer was supposed to hit this week, and then we didn't get it. So when is the full trailer? It was supposed to be in the Super Bowl, then it was supposed to be this week. Where is it, man? Come on.
That's scary, man. That's scary. Number 4 for me goes to, of course, Mandalorian and Grogu. Super excited about this because 1, it's coming out on my birthday. It's freaking awesome. And 2, this was a film that we both kind of strayed away from in our box office draft because, I mean, we just really don't know what fans want anymore, if they want Star Wars theatrical releases. But I do think this will hopefully, like you're saying with Avengers Doomsday, I think hopefully this will right the ship for Star Wars movies in theatrical experiences. So fingers crossed, man. I'm super excited about it. And I also like to how because it's gotten to a point where Pedro Pascal is everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like The Last of Us. I mean, obviously he died, spoiler alert. But I mean, Fantastic Four and so many different things. But like he has his helmet off a lot in this trailer. And how is that going to play into his Mandalorian religion?
Right.
I know they kind of touched on that a little bit in the series, but I'm interested to see how that's going to be moving forward. But yeah, super excited for Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah, and same. I'm right there with you. My number 4, also the Mandalorian and Grogu. I am excited. We don't know how it's going to play financially at the box office. I am excited about it though. I love the series. I love what Favreau and Dave Filoni did with the series. It did what it had to do, which is show there's other things outside of Skywalker in that galaxy. And you have to, move forward while honoring the legacy. Thought this show did that really well, and I'm hoping the movie continues that trend and does it really well, which I think it will. Yeah, and in my opinion, I agreed with you. The helmet was off a bit too much. Not only does that contradict the Mandalorian religion and what should be going on there, but because of the overexposure of Pedro in other things, I think the best move they could make is to keep the helmet on him throughout so that people focus on Mando and not Pedro. And, so we'll see. Hopefully that's not the whole movie because that could be bad if they did that. But my number 4, also the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yes, most definitely, most definitely. My number 3 goes to Michael. I'm super excited about this biopic. This might be the most excited I've ever been about a biopic. I was super pumped about the Bob Dylan one.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was the turning point with me and Chalamet's relationship. We're cool now. But I do think that this Michael biopic is going to be the biggest biopic of all time. There's no star I feel like bigger than Michael Jackson. Like that man is known worldwide and like countless record sales. And specifically this one, because there's rumor has it that they want to make a sequel, but this one specifically is going to be, I think, bigger than anything we've ever seen in the biopic realm. I do think the first trailer was better than the second, in my opinion, and that one technically came out in 2025. But we do know that this film got pushed from 2025 to 2026. But yeah, I'm super excited about it. I think they're gonna do it right with the pacing, with the story. I'm hoping so anyway. But yeah, number 3 for me, the Michael trailer.
I'm right there with you. I think it just looks phenomenal, and it was a brilliant move to get an actual relative to play him, because this kid looks like they didn't even have to do much makeup. I mean, it's just scary how much he looks like Michael and sounds like Michael and has the mannerisms. It's just talk about authenticity brought to just incredible. Disclosure Day, and this is Spielberg's new one where apparently they've been living amongst us forever. And the government has decided that they're going to disclose that information on this specific day, and all shit breaks loose. I'm pumped. The idea of that, the idea that they could be amongst us this whole time, the government has known and kept it a secret, and now they're about to expose it to the world, and how do we go down? I mean, this is creepy, dramatic, thriller storytelling at its best. And Spielberg, just think Jaws, right? This is that type of hidden danger that all of a sudden is there, and how do you react? And I think he's a master at telling those type stories, so I'm super excited about this one. The cast is phenomenal in this one. Disclosure Day. I can't wait. This is going to be a good one, man.
Yeah, I'm excited, but also very curious. And because, he hasn't had a box office quote unquote hit in over a decade. So it's going to be very interesting.
So go back to the formula, right? That works.
Hopefully put him back on top. That would be awesome. He is the most profitable filmmaker of all time. So be sure to check out Disclosure Day. But we did keep it off both of our box office drafts as well. So
we did.
That.
We did.
Number 2 for me goes to The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited about this film, man. This is a guilty pleasure for me, and I definitely feel like it's very nostalgic to the first one, but this is also one that I'm really hoping they don't mess up, because this is such an iconic film, especially for the female audience. Like, it is something that is going to get a lot of female butts in those seats. So
no
I'm
doubt.
super excited to see how we are moving forward. I do wish that in the trailers, like, I get it, Miranda is very self-centric and tries not to think about anybody who's wronged her or whatever. But I do wish that we would have Miranda remember them a little bit more, because she's actually acting nonchalant and like she didn't care about Andy and the other one. Like, yeah, but I'm super excited about this film, and the trailer is awesome. Emily and I have watched it a million times. So yeah, The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Yes, I love it. I'm excited for it as well. My number 2, I'm excited for this for the same reason you just mentioned. This is a guilty pleasure for me and a very nostalgic moment. I'm talking about the Scream franchise, and specifically Scream 7. If you guys haven't seen the new trailer for Scream 7, oh my God, it looks so freaking epic. First of all, bringing in Sydney's daughter is an amazing move. I think it's gonna be it's just gonna be incredible. And Anna May playing her, and it's gonna be incredible. It's gonna be incredible. But what I really love is the confusion, or Isabella May, I'm sorry, confusion around what they're trying to make you believe, and what they're trying to make you believe is that Sydney is the killer this time, which If that's true, which I clearly think it's a diversion tactic, because if they've put that much out there to try to lead you in that direction, and then it's true, what a letdown that would be. But the idea of that Sydney could finally just have enough and snap and be the killer would be freaking epic. And the fact that she's trying to kill her own daughter, even more epic. But I don't think that's how it's going to go down. But the trailer has me excited for that. So, yeah, look, this is a franchise that's been around a while. It's had some hiccups, right? Came out strong, bumped a little bit, lost the stars, brought the stars back. But this is one that has corrected the ship. It has corrected course. It's on the right path again. And if this is the end, which I think it is because they're bringing back a bunch of people that died. How are they doing that? That's another reason why I'm excited about this one. I think it'll be the proper send-off. So, yeah, my number 2, Scream 7. I can't wait for this one, man. It's going to be like, I thought the last one was really good. So I'm pumped for this one. I really am.
Yeah, we're obviously big fans of the franchise because in our intro, we talk about Scream. I think it was 5.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, they continue to do pretty well. They're fun films.
They really are fun films.
And at the end of the day, that's what filmmaking and entertainment is about, just having fun.
That's right.
Number 1 for both of us, and it makes sense. You heard us talk about it in the Industry News segment. Toy Story 5. I mentioned it a little bit earlier. It's so nostalgic, man. I love how they did decide to bring Woody back after the 4th one, spoiler alert, where Woody decided to leave the group. I just feel like it's gonna be so good. It looks like it has so much potential, and it is so relevant. And really, you could continue making Toy Stories forever because they continue to find relevant topics to continue to touch on. But I think, the reuniting of Buzz and Woody is going to be epic. I love how it's very centered around the girl cowboy now. So yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah, me too. You can't watch this trailer and not get all the feels. You just can't. My age, your age, the young kids, it's like, it's one of those rare film franchises that attracts every demographic, every age group, everything you want to be sitting in a theater seat, these films attract. And so it's hard not to get excited about it. It's hard not to get excited about the story. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think this is a franchise that can continue to be around for a very long time if they keep smart storytelling with it and just keep the nostalgia factor there. Because, I mean, from the very first one through, they've just all been outstanding stories and a beautiful telling of this family and the progression of, and it's just incredible. Yeah, love it. Love it.
It is. 2026 is going to be a good year for movies, guys.
Yes.
So be sure to check them out in your local theaters.
Yes,
keep
in
theaters
theaters.
alive. Keep theaters alive. That's important. But we want to know, out of the 2026 movie trailers that we've seen so far, which one's your favorite? Please be sure to comment down below in the YouTube comment section. Add us on X, Threads, any of the places. Or what is your favorite television show trailer? I mean, there's a lot coming up. You got Bridgerton Season 4 Part 2, which I've also watched a million times. Super excited about that coming back. And so many others, man. So many so much good stuff out there right now. Please be sure to let us know which trailers that you love. But now we are heading over to the box office recap, where Wuthering Heights did come in at number 1, not as much as Warner Brothers would have liked.
No, and then it fell. Yeah,
they were really hoping for 40 million plus, but it came in at $32.8 million, so $33 million. Goat, a new Steph Curry animated flick, did really well. $27.2 million. Crime 101, I wish did better because, I mean, it was a stereotypical blockbuster setup film. Yeah. And I still really want to see it.
Me too. Phenomenal cast.
Yeah, exactly. With $14.2 million. And then Send Help, which has been the saving grace of the theatrical experiences.
Yeah.
So that's been awesome. With $8.8 million. And Solo Mio with $6.5 million in that 5th spot. I don't know what that one's about.
That's the one with Kevin James who gets dumped and then he goes on this like depression tour. It was made for like barely any money at all, so it's a huge success, which is great. And then Goat has been number 1 all this week Wuthering Heights took the weekend, but it dropped every day from Friday to Saturday, Saturday to Sunday, and come Monday, GOAT was back at number 1 and has stayed number 1 all week.
Nice.
So Wuthering Heights is not getting word of mouth. It's not. I heard you either loved it or you fucking hated it, and there was no in between. And if you loved it for the sex, that's what people were talking about. Like all I saw from people who liked it was they were talking about the sex. Oh my God, there's this part with a corset where he's like yanks her up and all, and then everybody else was like, it's not accurate to the book. All it is sex. The only time they're together is for the sex. It's like, and so it was one of those dividing movies which never lasts at the box office. I mean, unfortunate, because Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, it was the same thing with Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell. Great movie that nobody saw. I don't know, man.
I know, we got to look up the budget on this thing because freaking this was a film that was at a bidding war for Warner Brothers or Netflix, and the filmmaker decided to go with Warner Brothers because they wanted a theatrical experience. And even though I think Netflix actually bid more.
I think so. I think that's
right
correct.
Now, with this whole thing going on with the sale of Warner Brothers Discovery, like this was a big integral part to see like how successful it would have been at the box office because of that specific, antidote. And I know you're looking up the budget right now.
80 million production budget, like 120 million with advertising and marketing. So it's going to take a bath, but not as big a bath as it could have. Put it that way.
It's not a good thing. It doesn't go in favor of theatrical experiences. Let's put it that way.
No.
So it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. But there are some new movies coming out this week. I can only imagine 2. How to Make a Killing, Midwinter Break, Psycho Killer, This Is Not a Test, and a couple of other ones that you can still go see right now. Good luck, have fun, don't die.
Yep.
Zootopia 2, Dracula, The Strangers Chapter 3, and The Housemaid is still in select.
Still hanging around there, man. Unreal.
Freaking awesome. Yeah, this weekend, going to check out that new Glenn Powell flick, How to Make a Killing. Super excited about that one.
Yes, probably the same. And I'll be honest, I'll probably go see that and Crime 101 because I want to support Crime 101. That's two Avengers and an X-Men. Come on, man, show up, people. Let's go.
There you go. Now we're heading over to the IMDb Pro's Top Trending segment, where Wuthering Heights is the top trending movie. Makes sense. Everybody's talking about it. Top trending TV show is A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is awesome, man. I really had no idea how people were going to react to it, so love to see that for Game of Thrones. And the top trending star is James Van Der Beek, obviously, with the passing. And a lot of stuff coming out about financial trouble and the ranch and all of these different things. So makes sense, man. Makes sense. But anyway, y'all, thank you so much for getting crazy with us on episode 320 of ITCAF Podcast. We got to thank you one more time for listening, getting crazy, and having a little fun this weekend. And then, as always, you can follow us on social media. The company is at Crazy Ant Media. The podcast is at ITCAF Podcast. The mental health podcast, Everything's OKP, is out right now. New episode about isolation. So be sure to check that out. And then, of course, you can follow us both personally on social media. Myself at Logan Austin and
at Crazy Ant CEO.
There you go, man. There you go. And you can subscribe to this podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, and so much more. And be sure to watch the video on YouTube, like, subscribe, and ring the bell for the channel so you can stay up to date with everything that we have going on here at Crazy Ant Media.
Yes.
And, of course, be sure to visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can find a little bit of something out about Crazy Ant Media, whether it's merchandise, whether it's our film projects, whether it's our podcast, everything, man. We got a lot going on. And then, of course, man, it's a great show. I love being back to our regular scheduled programming. It's fun. It's a lot of good stuff coming out of Hollywood, and I'm really excited for the movies this year. The trailers look amazing, so I have high expectations, that's for sure.
Same. We saw over the past couple of years a nice resurgence in television, right? Finally started getting some really good, interesting series, but the movies had been dragging a little bit, and now here we go. This year definitely looks like it's gonna be a great one. and a lot of great films. Like the past couple of years, it's been one or two, like, oh man, can't miss. But now, seem to be moving in the right direction. I'm right there with you, and I hope that does what it needs to do for theaters and getting people back into theaters. Because man, we still need to make that happen, people. We need to make that happen.
Yes, most definitely, most definitely. And as always, for 320 episodes, we love the one, the only
Oprah.